Hi, these comments are for MK, and I am Michael from OTC Online TOEFL Ohio gozaimasu. How's everything going in your neck of the woods? You're one of my TOEFL speaking boot camp course students, and you are answering the question, speaking task number 241. Are you an adventurous eater, or do you prefer to go to the same restaurant and eat the same dish every time? Why? All right, let's see how you do on this one. I have the actual speaking rubrics right here, and let's listen to your response.
I prefer to go to the same restaurant and eat the same dish every time because there's no guarantee that the new restaurant will serve you something better. There's a good hamburger restaurant near my house, and I go there every weekend to enjoy the hamburger. I always would order chicken hamburger, which is my favorite. One time I tried the new restaurant, which was becoming popular at the time, and the hamburger was a bit more expensive than the one I always had, but it turned out it didn't taste good, so I thought it was a waste of money. I prefer.
Okay, so you answer the question. I think on this one, it's really when it comes down to it, difficulties with pacing are noticeable that may require listener effort. So you got to work on your pacing. That means your thought groups and blending. So I'm going to put you at about 23 to 24 points out of 30. I think that you're until you get control, I think of your pacing, your thought groups, and your blending, it's going to be hard for you to get any higher than where you are right now. Okay, let's listen to it one more time.
To go to the same restaurant and eat the same. I prefer to go to the same restaurant and eat the same dish every time because there's no guarantee that the new restaurant will serve you something better.
Okay.
There's a good hamburger restaurant near my
Notice
house,
that
and
there's a good hamburger restaurant by my house, and I like to go over there to eat maybe on Fridays and Saturdays. So you have to get a little bit faster. So you need to group ideas into thought groups of 4 to 5 stress words. Then you have a short pause. Then you have another thought group of 4 or 5 stress words. And that's going to give you what the TOEFL is looking for here. It's called fluid expression, well paced flow. Right now, you have some fluidity of expression. And remember that the TOEFL has a scoring engine, a tool. It's called SpeechRater, and it's a software program. It's going to listen to your speaking, and when it hears those pauses in there, it's going to give you a lower score consequently.
I go there every weekend to enjoy the hamburger. I always
Now you want to say, I go there every weekend to enjoy a hamburger. You want to say it like that. I go there every weekend to enjoy a hamburger.
would order chicken hamburger, which is my favorite. One time.
But how do you get a chicken hamburger? How does that work? You can say chicken burger, right? But hamburger means it's made of meat. But chicken, I would say chicken burger, not chicken hamburger.
I tried the new restaurant, which
This is where you're breaking down with your pacing right
was
here.
becoming popular at the time, and the hamburger was a bit more expensive than the one I always had, but it turned out it didn't taste good, so I thought it was a waste of money.
Okay, now you didn't answer the question I'm trying to get from you. I asked you a question about a week ago. Do you stutter in your first language? When you're speaking Japanese, for example, do you, hi, my name is, do you do any of that in your first language, or is this just something that you do in English? Can you give me some feedback on that? Because if it is a stuttering issue and you do stutter in your first language, I may change my strategies and how I might teach you. And if you do stutter, it might not even be something that we can correct. I mean, it might be just a brain disorder that you have, and there's not much you can do about it. But anyway, answer that question. So when you're speaking in Japanese, do you have fluidity of expression? You speak pretty quickly without a lot of hesitations and disruptions? Or do you do something similar to what you're doing right now when you speak English? So let me know about that. This is important. Now, to help you with your issue right now, here's what I want you to do. Um, I want you to do some practice with thought groups and blending. It's pronunciation lessons 41 through 44. Every other day, right, when you're not doing speaking practice, I want you to do some pronunciation practice from those lessons. And then send me 60 seconds of pronunciation practice from those videos. So the goal is you'll see in those videos, in those accent reduction videos, you have some sentences at the end of the lesson, and then you have some paragraphs at the end of the lesson. So either record yourself reading the 5 sentences for 60 seconds or record yourself reading the paragraph for 60 seconds. And I want to see how you can do with your thought groups and blending and pacing with that. And I'll give you some feedback on that. And the goal, this is kind of what we call controlled pronunciation practice. If you can improve your pacing in those pronunciation exercises, then the next step is you should be able to improve it in the speaking that you're doing. All right? And thank you for doing this practice test. So like I said before, I think that your score here, you're probably looking at about 23 to 24 points out of 30 because of problems with pacing.